Hi, everybody. I'm hoping you guys can hear me and see me. And hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, welcome back to Smartphone Theater. Gina, have you written enough plays to get us through this COVID-19 crisis?
He wants to do this. And I wanted you to see him doing something that finally makes him happy.
I'm scared I'm going to lose a finger.
All appendages are safe. Starvation is good. Feeds creativity.
Cool.
Okay. So, well, let me ask you something.
So, where's the swimming pool?
That would be the bathtub.
Shall we try it?
You as founder, creator, producer, and oftentimes director on Smartphone. Frank? What are you doing here?
We're doing a free Wi-Fi.
Next in between Gina and Eugene, they've taken over Smartphone Theater. We have a lot of pieces by both, thankfully.
God, I never meant for it to happen, Franny. I swear, I take full responsibility for my action.
Fiery Christ, I am so turned on right now.
Yeah?
Oh, my flippin' fuck yes.
When you first asked me, hey, what do you got, to now, what did you think would happen with it? Did you have an idea of what would happen?
Ooh, good question.
This is what the fuss was all about? Ugh, I don't see it. Can I help you?
I don't look at things as if there's a finish line.
Right.
So I look at this completely as a process. So when we were locked down, it was sort of that void. It was that emptiness. Like, not only am I not going to see my friends, but not my friends, my family, my community. It was, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We need something.
Yeah.
And it was built quick. And it was also built with you in mind.
What do you think?
I never realized how much hoop-de-doo there was in getting opera off the ground.
This is like any startup. I mean, ultimately, that's what this is. Like any startup, some people have exit strategies. I don't have an exit strategy. I don't have an exit strategy. This is not that. Our strategy is, let's just keep going. Let's just keep creating.
I can't believe they're all gone.
Yeah.
What?
What's that?
All the kids. Finally gone.
Yeah. I thought they'd never leave.
Some people say the funny comes from the seriousness of the text of the piece. Others, not so much. You actually find the funny and you can find a beat. Can you talk a little bit about that, your instinct?
I mean, to me, fun is instinct.
Hello?
Oh, you must be Mr. Gregory Deaver, I assume.
And you are?
Clifford Oscar, field representative for 21st Century Security.
Oh, no.
I thought we agreed.
We agreed.
I want to stay, but...
Well, if you want to stay for you, you could stay for you. But if you want to stay for me, don't stay.
Yeah, I better go take care of her.
Yeah.
I love directing, but I don't need to direct every piece. I sit back, and when there's a good piece up, which is almost all the time, I'm thrilled. I just sit back and that Q&A, the talkback that we do at the end.
I just want to give you my notes for today.
Just so strong. What strong performances.
Peter Honorati, fantastic. I got bad news for you. I want you to turn this into a TV series.
Well, this was a loving tribute to my mother.
Has any aspect of the journey really surprised you?
I don't know if surprise is the word, but the emotional connection has been beautiful.
There are no guarantees. Raising Henry will be challenging because that is what parenting is. We want to do this.
We're ready to be his moms. We're ready to do the hard part. We love him. We will love him forever, and we will never, ever give him back or give him up or give up on him.
You can't promise that.
Yes, I can, and I do.
I do. We do promise.
The fact that we can connect so greatly through this screen is so tangible, really. It's been, you could say it's been a surprise, but it's been so lovely. It's been so lovely. There are just some pieces where when they're done, you are verklempt.
I am marvelous. I'm marvelous. I'm marvelous.
We start out still small, fresh hands, soft and chubby. Life's a baby kitten, happy dance.
Come on, wear the mask to bed. He looks at me like I'm crazy.
02/14, the same date every year.
Coney Island Angel, you're my Coney Island girl. We stroll the Coney Island boardwalk. Joanne, I am yours.
I will say, you better stay hydrated and as well rested as you can, because you're it. You're holding the keys to the castle here, sir.
And it's all connected. It's all about, as a director, you know what that is. You sit, you work on a piece of material, and then the ultimate goal is that this will come to life and it will reach an audience we cannot even see.
You talk about being verklempt of, wow, I'm doing something that really matters, and it matters to someone else. Right. And it matters to people who I've never met, who I never will meet.
That you talk about that you and Jim were trying to option a property, and then you sat down and you started to write. Where did all that come from?
I don't know. I've never been analyzed, but maybe it was fun.
Keep writing. Don't step away from your computer or your pen.
All right, deal.
Keep everything close.
Absolutely, absolute deal.
Why don't we go downstairs and get a drink?
Where?
It's Hollywood Boulevard. There's a bar every 10 feet.
I like Musso's.
Then it's Musso's.
So buy me a drink or two and then point to any table. I will tell you what gorgeous leading man begged me to share passion with him.
Okay.
And buy me another drink. I will tell you to whom I said yes.
I'm not a theater person. I mean, I don't know a lot about theater or, all the people who probably call in and stuff like that. But just for a regular person, it was wonderful. And my husband and I really enjoyed it.
I just want to thank everybody so much for all you did for this play, your ideas and your sparkling personalities.
I wish you the best of luck with this. And I just want to thank everybody. I had a ball.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Todd. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you so much. Thank you for showing up.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Oh, this is some birthday present.
Lights fade out. End of play.
Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Elaine, would you turn off your camera, please? So video off. Stop video. Thank you. So hi, everybody. Feeling foolish. And who knows, anything can happen. So here we go. Kevin Kelly, please turn off your camera. Stop video, Kevin. Thank you. There we go. It's all part of the April Fool's show. This is why people's cameras are coming on. Trust me, that's what's going on. So I hope you guys have had a good week. I just got some really amazing news a little while ago. It was on, not to me, but I read it off of Variety, that in California, live theaters are going to be opening up on April 15th. So at least to a certain degree. So, hey guys, this is getting exciting. April 15th, there's some, I don't know all the rules and the regs behind it, but You heard it here second. So that is what's going on. But in the meantime, here tonight, we have Feeling Foolish. We have a great lineup of people tonight. So I'm really excited to introduce you guys to everybody. And let's get started. So first up, we have Michael Cavanaugh. There's Michael. And then we have Buffy Shutt. Hello, Buffy. Great. Hello. Then we have Elaine Madsen. Elaine, now you can turn your camera on. Elaine, one more time. There we go. Excellent. And then Smokey Miles. Smokey, where are you? Video on Smokey. Excellent. Okay. And then Rick Sandack. There we go. Excellent. Feeling Foolish with the nose. Beautiful. Shirley Sniderman, come on down. Excellent. Hi, Shirley. Joseph Walsh. Thank you, Joseph. And Devon O'Brien. Hi, Devon. And then we have Kevin Kelly. Excellent. Hello, Kevin. Fantastic. Well, now we are going to get going. We're going to start off with Michael Cavanaugh. So everybody enjoy, have a great night tonight. And then again, when we are wrapped up, there's going to be a little talk back with the poets, and we'll talk about, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay. So we are going to start with Michael Cavanaugh.
Bonsoir, mes amis. À Paris, je m'appelle Michel Cavanaugh. In the good old US of A, my name is still, funnily enough, Michael Cavanaugh. The name of my piece today is Foolishness. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come not to bury foolishness, but to reveal foolishness. And so, ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes, and bow-legged ants, I come before you to stand behind you to tell you something I know nothing about. Next Thursday, which is Good Friday, there will be a men's club meeting, which is for women only. Admission is free, pay at the door, pull up a chair, and sit on the floor. Ah, my fine feathered friends, pray, consider. Consider, contemplate, mentally cogitate, and masticate. Could what you just heard be called pure and unadulterated foolishness? Nay, nay, say I, not at all, not a whit. Fantastical frivolity, to be sure. Semantical silliness, may bien sûr. Laughable ludicrosity, yes, yes. Again, I say yes. But foolishness? Ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants, you want foolishness? Listen to the following. Could it be real or true? Listen along with me, please, won't you? Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a long time since my last confession, a very long time indeed. Ah, my son, never you mind. You're a good lad in the eyes of you-know-who. I absolve you of any naughty misdeed, in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Go now, say 3 Our Fathers and 3 Hail Marys, and your soul will be free. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants, give this some thought. Could it possibly be 3 and 3 and your soul will be free? Nonsense, say I. This is foolishness. A foolhardy chase after a load of fool's gold. This is as real as a madcap, fool's cap, Al Cap offspring, Lil Abner and Daisy May and Dogpatch. This is as real as Prince Valiant and Dagwood and Blondie, Beale Bailey, Dennis the Menace, Rex Morgan, MD. 3 and 3. Can't you see, hearken forsooth, it ain't the truth. But wait, say you, hearken forsooth, what can one do? What is the truth? 4 and 4? A little more, 5 and 5, will my soul thrive? 6 and 6, fiddlesticks, pick up sticks. Hearken forsooth, what is the truth? Be nice. That is the truth. Be nice to others, and you will soothe your soul. And so, ladies and gentlemen, hobos and tramps, cross-eyed mosquitoes and bow-legged ants, I leave you now with one can and no can'ts. The one two-word phrase that you can. Be nice. Be nice today. Be nice today. Be nice today, today. Be nice today. Merci beaucoup.
This game. Why get into this game when you don't understand? Their talk of poems, secret and offhand, like marriage, gigantic, inside, small. You feel late to the party, gulp a few drinks, yes to espresso, espressos, a speedball. Swallow one small bone of a word. On the brink, so armored, chew, down that grit, toughen, summon, hide inside your thumb, throw up your poem. Big butt. Poem swings her big butt down the hall, disappears into the break room. Poem is the office, drudgy and dreamy. Poem carries on 3 conversations at once. Poem's got fast fingers, doesn't wear glasses. Poem ramps up the heartbeat, overheats the room, takes over the meeting. Poem follows me home, texts me, tries to FaceTime. I don't answer. I'm asleep. Poem hates me. Poem bangs on the door, batters the lock, floats outside the window, spies on me. At work, I call a window washer to sway 30 floors up to wipe off the sex, the message, Poem's breath. Poem shows up unannounced, crowding into my cube. I offer Poem coffee, decaf, chai tea, a double espresso. I can't tell the difference between Poem and my desk, between Poem and the fluorescent lights, between Poem and the keyboard, between Poem and my breath, between Poem and being alone. Thank you.
When going on beyond all reason, you will need your boots. And you must hold your hand. Yes, your own hand. The one with the Buddha's eye. I climbed to the top of a dandelion and found you hiding there. We lolled all over the golden fluff and came down to find people stare. I don't know why they act that way. But on the other hand, I've never seen any other fuzzy yellow ones like me and thee. This is in homage to John Ashbery, the poet John Ashbery. It's called She. She is the author of Grin and Bear It. She is the master of all she purveys. She is sobriety, tipsy with whimsy. She is a giant malapropped quote. She is a twilight tattoo of Tabasco. She's an irony whistling a prayer. She is a triad reciting credenzas. She is the nightmare's Gemini joy. She is an expert on cycles and seaweed. She is astride the wristwatch you treat. She is a fanciful cream puff of questions. She is the one who puts ice in your beer. She sings for voluptuarian cattails. She dances aboard the dandelion's kite. She dampens the desert with oysters de jour. She cancels earthquakes with crystal-eyed dyes. She strangled a gnat one night in Rangoon. She pitched a senator secrets in tune. She bawled the king of the afternoon moon. She stepped over petulant pipers and pastry. She twirled from the top of a biped kazoo. She ranged an icicle painting a monkey. She's gotten equipped with double-decked boots. She sees the whole Louvre in a cardinal's feather. She canned all the gerbils asleep in the hall. She once seduced a barbecued winter. She axed a whole river of radiant fleas. She's wrathful and wonder-eyed, sleeps in canoes. She watches for ox carts with pink ribbon wheels. She let out the spiders who were dressed in green sugar. She laced up the string beans, spiced without air. She yawns with aplomb and never is tired. She tap dances deftly with tarot-timed mice. She climbs under anthills to entertain turtles. She teaches Antarctican envelopes dice. She is denouement, laughing in cartwheels. She will take orders for needlepoint dust. She is behind you, launching your footsteps. She is an innocent, insolent bitch. Thank you.
It is the story of a couple of mice that had different ways of dealing with life. One was called Monogamouse and the other Polygamouse. There once were two mice, both not too bad, both quite nice. Each one followed its own fate in the manner in which it would mate. Now Monogamouse followed the trend of just one mousetress to tend. But Polygamouse didn't give a fig, 'cause Polygamouse was a polyg. Monogamouse had a mousetress he cared for, only one in his life. He never ever thought to share his love with others. This mousetress he called his wife. But Polygamouse was like a hummingbird, flittering from rodent to rodent. He felt the need to spread his seed. Yes, it made him feel much more potent. Polygamouse tried each one to hide, every one from the other. He'd go hither and yon and jump upon. Each one he'd turn into a mother. And every one seemed to understand. Polygamouse had his ways to catch her. They worshipped him mostly from afar and admired his mousely stature. Oh yes, some complained from time to time he was not there for their mouselets, but they understood since the loving was good, they were his necessary outlets. While Monogamouse stayed at home tending to his wife and his nest. Polygamouse was gallivanting around, tending to all the rest. Now, Monogamouse's wife was happy for a while, but then she grew discontented. She got displeased. He didn't bring home enough cheese, and besides, she was becoming demented. So Monogamouse looked at Polygamouse, who spread his jism with joy, and he thought to himself, look at his form of wealth. I'll get some too, for boys will be boys. So Monogamouse ventured out one night and rescued a mouse from a trap. Next thing he knew, he was huffing, puffing, she too. They slept together, and I don't mean a nap. With lust satisfied and joy in his loins, Monogamouse returned to his domicile. But his wife was alert. She sensed she'd been hurt, and it was then she became rather vile. She spit in his face and ripped up the place and kicked Monogamouse into the foyer. She denounced him in the hood, told her ma he's no good, then ran under the door of a lawyer. Meanwhile, Polygamouse was flitting about, frittering away time and spreading diseases, while more and more he'd hear them shout, Polygamouse, you'd better go and find some cheeses. His nerves were worn. He was weathering storms, for each of his conquests brought dramas. Some claimed they didn't deserve him, some tried to serve him, and some didn't want to be mamas. Some took lovers to their loft, some wanted him oft, and some spread rumors he was ratty. Some got tough, some called his bluff, and some got him to admit he's the daddy. Poor Polygamouse could find no home, no roots, just endless adventures. Living on scraps and evading traps, his mother found out, and it wrenched her. Meanwhile, Monogamouse tried to recapture his wife, but got smashed on the skull by her attorney. He'd lost his nest, his life was a mess. Yes, he felt his world had become an awful journey. He nearly died. He had to go run and hide. His cheese had all been given to his mouselets. Just because he tried to get satisfied, his wife in her pain made him houseless. The vows, the nest, the cheese was all gone, and the wife in her rage was still jealous. And to all that they'd worked for, they could not hold on. It was reduced into little mouse pellets, deposited under the lawyer's desk. Oh yes, it was a mess. And Polygamouse had to hide underground. His little mouse mind was no longer sound. All his troubles burst just like bubbles. He got lost and never was found. The meaning of this story and the moral of this tale is though no one's ever built a better mousetrap, maybe some have tried and failed, but mice get trapped in many ways, and not just snap, boom, and bam. They might start out jumping in a jar of jelly, but they all tend to end up in some jam. Thank you too much.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rick Sandack, and happy Easter weekend. I'm a writer, and I'm a longtime comic at the Comedy Store with my my name on the front wall between Jim Carrey and Sam Kinison, which always reminds me of comedy stand-up's #1 rule of survival: keep your day job. And for me to not observe April Fool's Day is like Todd Felderstein skipping Yom Kippur. It's sacrilegious. That's why every April 1st I like to call Barnes & Noble and ask the sales clerks if they've got Angela's ashes. And when they say yes, I shout, well, send them back. She deserves a proper burial. Bada bang. So when the Toddmeister asked me to participate in Feeling Foolish Night, at my pleading, I was overjoyed, and I thought I'd share my best prank ever. It took place in the 80s when I when I kept getting wrong number phone calls for the Criterion Theater in Santa Monica. Sorry, wrong number, I told them. But after one too many wrong number phone calls for the Criterion, I said, screw it. This is the Criterion Theater, and began answering the phone accordingly. Criterion Theater, I told them, establishing instant credibility. Yes, can you tell us what's playing? Asked the caller. Sure can, I said. Then I proceeded to make up bizarre off-the-wall movie titles, like Flipper Goes to Grad School, I Was a Chocolate Chip Cookie for the FBI, and Ma and Pa Kettle Bleed to Death. Thank you, they said, never questioning the absurdity or the veracity of those far-out movie titles. I was in prank heaven, pushing their gullibility to the limits, with movie titles that became more outrageous, like Chainsaw Vasectomy, Jiminy Cricket's Briss, Mother Teresa Goes to Vegas, Catcher in the Raw, From Here to Maternity, I Married a Milkmaid starring Hugh Hefner and Dr. Joyce Brothers, and Incendiary Blonde starring Dr. Ruth Westheimer. The calls became more and more ludicrous, offering free popcorn and soda to any callers under 50, as long as they showed their photo IDs with date of birth. I asked one caller if he liked Milk Duds, to which he replied yes, and I said, good, because we've got only one box left and it's yours if you tell me your first name. And he did, Steve. Good, Steve, I'll print it on the box. It's yours, I replied. I told other callers they could get in for a penny if they whispered the secret word Gazarium at the box office. Gazarium was my dad's made-up word for the male reproductive organ. Now what's the secret word, I asked them before ending the phone call. Gazarium, they replied. You're good to go, I said. It brought me great joy imagining the look on the box office lady's face when moviegoers handed her a penny and whispered Gazarium, as did the look on the concession stand workers' faces when Steve told them he was promised the last box of Milk Duds that had his name on it, and how weirdness prevailed when moviegoers demanded free popcorn and soda pop after showing their IDs proving that they were under 50. Like I say, I was in prank heaven. I even tape recorded the phone calls so my grandkids will know that Grandpa Ricky was a freakazoid, and that feeling foolish is where it's at. Thank you.
My first piece is called Tomfoolery. To my dearest and older friends of longest standing, I offer this. 80, old lady, the doctor once said. He really was sorry because I shot him dead. 80, old lady, I think like I'm 20, quick with my wit and blue jokes aplenty. 80, old lady, and sometimes I feel 30. I love to boogie and get down and dirty. 80, old lady, I remember 40. I was wild and woolly and a little bit naughty. 80, old lady, I feel like I'm 50. I hold on to my money because I'm nifty and I'm thrifty. 80, old lady, ah yes, there was 60. A period of reflection. Still good for a quickie. 80, old lady, I cringed as I hit 70. Slowed down a bit, but life became heavenly. And now again, 80, not old at all, loving every minute of life, the best I can recall. And the next piece is called Fiddling Around. April Fool's Day, the subject of choice, may give someone a time to rejoice, like fooling a friend with pranks to no end and giving the Joker a new voice. Nero, an emperor of Rome, ruled in 54 AD. Nasty and cunning, his advisors would agree. Rome burned, Nero fiddled. He remained quite the riddle. And as he claimed upon death, what an artist dies in me. Jack Benny was known for playing his strings, but the TV networks had planned other things. He portrayed as a miser. He was always the wiser. And throughout his career, I'm only 39, he would sing. No one has ever seen him. There is no proof that there ever was a fiddler on the roof. The people of this little Russian village tell stories about all of their pillage. But the one about the fiddler, there was no proof. And although April Fool's Day is done, and the jokes and the jokesters have gone, did it put a smile on your face and take you to another place? I did the work, and I hope you had fun. Thank you.
This is called The Hummingbirds Have Been Banned. The hummingbirds have been banned. The hummingbirds have been banned? The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds have been banned. The hummingbirds will band together. The hummingbirds will fight the band. The hummingbirds have been banned. How can they possibly be banned? They simply can't be banned. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds have been banned. Who will enforce the ban? No one will enforce the ban. No one can enforce the ban. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds have been banned. Together we'll fight the ban. We'll fight the ban together. You know it can't be done. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds have been banned. We'll hum. We'll fly together. Iridescent will fly together. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds will never be banned. The hummingbirds, iridescent. We'll poke out our tongues. We'll suck at the honey and treacle. We'll enchant everyone we meet. We'll stop at every blossom. We'll sip at everything sweet. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The hummingbirds can't be banned. The news. Did you hear the news that the squid got lost in her ink and the sky took a tumble very close to the floor and the moo cow looked humble as the milkmaid milked more? Jenny the cat. The curtain shreds in that glaring smeared sun. Don't try the door. Ever since winter it's been stuck. The cat's wound tight over there like a bun, a twitch here, a twitch there, maybe a dream or just an itch. Cats. No leaves stir in the broken light, no little mouse runs about, no dust mote. I dream of a girl in a white dress, breath like milk. When something stirs, it's time to feed Jenny, Jenny the cat. A couple other little short ones here. This one's called Adirondack Poem. On ferny banks where mosses grow, table fungus hard as hoof takes root and fells the trunk, turning fur to ash, where Adirondack paths become quiet when they're asked. Unearthed tree-still solicitude, a dun mosquito zeroes in on you, and the salamander like fire basks in grenadine play-dead masks. Gnats teem on the water in a fist of silvered black, its shiftings and its size and the half-dreamed green color of dragonflies. By the edge where water turns pools of cedar, a trebled tincture of light and dust, the humid torture of lightning bugs. Suburban Warfare, 1969. The lawn lies there, the cats calm and alert in the fronds. The concrete steams from a hosing and stinks of lime. The kids have sticks they've sharpened. Shanked dirt clods hang like scalps from their belts. Everywhere there's citrus, pyracantha, and thorns. The war will start in the trees. And this last one. Tell me the story again about how the sun came up and woke us drowsy in the field of the groves leaning toward the water, leaves shimmering, silver and black. This is the time of day when the summer chases the swallowtail, where the flower of the magnolia opens and laughs behind the bars of the willow. Never mind the stars. Thank you.
This is called Lunch Hunch. I heard today that you and he had lunch. You left your names when the machine did chime, then spoke to set a place and pick a time. You had something in common, was the hunch. The two of you went out to lunch today, discussed the specials on the menu, and shared a smile as the waitress walked away. There's a beauty found in every venue. He ordered coffee, he had tea. The two of you opened up despite the discrepancy, then talked about everything except about me. Then, shaking hands, you parted company, each at ease, now sure of the secret hope. It had to be he whom I loved the most. This is another sonnet. It's called Mechanicals. I like them. They will never bother me. We talk of gloss or semi-gloss of paint, debate which can and which consistency best will serve the surface that I face. I know they will not talk to me of me. They note not the sad aspect of my brow. They don't detect the deep, dark hole in me, how I stand by its hungry, open mouth. If I spoke of a hole, sure, they'd patch it. They'd offer spackle, something practical. When I've a passion, I'm apt to hatch it in an aisle amongst mechanicals. I go there. I know there. I'm safe, unseen. When a flash of compassion would unhinge me. This one is called How I Made Houdini Smile. I could see in me she saw the possibility of a bond. She longed for intimacy with me. She watched with cat-like eyes like spies. Her eyes assimilated me, studying my moments between moments. But I perceived the trap. I saw the chairs positioned for a chat. The quiet house, void of noise and others, the stage was set for a tete-a-tete. There were even props, a plate piled with cookies on the counter, clearly cut from a tube in the freezer. Were these lure for likes of me? I wanted it not. I fought, without gesture, without a wiggle, without an insult even, only with will. I evaded the knot. I was impressed with my own finesse. I effected an escape so expert it might have made Houdini smile. I got out and shut the door on her hopes. I gained the air. In her area, even air suffocates. This is the last poem. This is for Good Friday. It's called Prodigal Daughter. Why willful when I know I am? How wrong to be willful and a knower. To sulk, be sullen, and shirk is sinful, is silly. And to show the meager feast as if there, see, look, lay proof. Foolhardy, what? For the sake of fellowship, what fools be these, friends? There are so many ways for a knower to be a shower. Infinite tracery of unforeseen avenues, a wonder of life's winding adventure. Finally, be found feet on the right street. At last, I am a knower and a shower. Taken care of gracefully, graciously, gratefully, thou art I am. My old motto, now new again. My only one, lonely for you, alone with you, along with you. Oh, welcome home. Joy.
There's more Japanese drinking in this New York City bar than American citizens. Who makes the better car? The Jewish stand-up comic states as he sips and sips sake. The yen are doing nicely. I am divine comedy. And the bartender, he offers me a critique of my songs. He says I get the message, but the verse goes on too long and the words don't fit the music and the music's out of sync. There's peaks and lotties. tension, surprise, release. Now the drummer sitting next to me is going deaf in one ear. He chuckles light and have some fun because no one wants to hear. You foaming at the mouth, boy, galloping to catch the 4 horsemen of apocalypse, war, famine, death, and pestilence. It's impossible to originate. I shout in my defense. If you take the story out of your song, you rob it of what it's meant. And the words don't fit the music, and the music's out of sync. There's peaks and valleys, lottie, tension, surprise, release. These sounds are signs. They fall in lines, babbling like nursery rhyme, conditioned by our wordless time around the bar. I cannot find, it's true. I finally lost my mind. And Donald Duck is jealous of Clark Kent Superman, and Lois Lane's on LSD with Daffy Duck in Disneyland. And the Japanese are laughing as Mickey Mouse, he jokes with Porky Pig at Warner Brothers. That's all, folks. Now, I meant nothing offensive to those aforementioned few. And to you Japanese, metaphysically, I'm with you. I hope you make $1 million. I pray you seek what's free. Today, I was so fortunate to go for Korean Lee. He operates his stand on St. Mark's efficiently. He sells sunglasses double in AAA batteries. I'm wrestling the bartender. I lose the drinks on me. There's an exodus from Manhattan all the way up to my hometown in Poughkeepsie. These sounds are signs, they fall in lines, babbling like nursery rhyme, conditioned by our wordless time around the bar. I cannot find, it's true. I finally lost my mind. It's called The Lunatic. It's been harder late. Getting up in the morning. It's been harder late walking the street. I don't know who to talk to. I don't even know where I'm gonna sleep. My friends, they've abandoned me. My folks, they've lost all hope. They say my mind's got this sickness. I tell them, no, it's just my heart. It's breaking in two. Well, there goes the lunatic. The bells, they ring loud and clear. I am the lunatic. Was there laughter before the tear? Was there laughter before the tear? How did I get inside these streets? And how will I escape if the exit and the entrance doors are both part of the same real estate? No, I don't belong in these sidewalks, girl. I don't belong in no shelter. I don't belong to no state, baby. I just belong in your loving arms. There goes the lunatic. The bells, they ring loud and clear. Ding dong. I am the lunatic. Was there laughter before the tear? Was there laughter before the tear? Yes, I am the lunatic. It's I, the cursed one. I'm also a force of nature, the full moon and the rising sun. Tonight, I want to shoot myself. The only problem is I can't afford a gun. Doctors, won't you heal me? Lay me down. Let me rest as one. There goes the lunatic. The bells, they ring loud and clear. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I am the lunatic. Was there laughter before the tear? Was there laughter before the tear? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Holy cow, what an amazing afternoon, early evening. You guys are brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. So please unmute yourselves. And to our audience, you know, we're actually, we have a nice audience on YouTube and a good audience here. If you guys would just raise your hands, that would be great. And then you guys can just chime in and anything that you want. We have lots of questions. I just want to ask about our poets before we get going, if they want to share anything off the cuff about before we start getting into our whole talk back and Q&A. And do you have anything that you want to share outside of your poetry, this whole process, or what's been going on this past year? Quiet. Yeah, Shirley.
Well, it was such a diversity of poetry, of words. It was almost too much to absorb at one time. You just got into one person, and then a whole different ball game began, and it was really amazing.
I so agree. It was diverse and thought provoking and so solid. It was just yes. I probably won't sleep tonight just as I go over everything that happened actually today. So anybody else want to just chime in? Yeah. Go ahead, Elaine.
I want to know if Kevin has some smiles left.
Smiles.
Smile for us, Kevin.
Great. And so our audience, you guys can either, if you want to comment, just raise your hand, or you could chat in, or you could jump with the Q&A. And that's it. How many of you guys are I mean, is this poetry a hobby, or is this something that you do frequently? I mean, have you been up? Have you been to poetry reads? I mean, how is all of this unfolded? Is anyone, Buffy, what's your poetry background?
I would say it's a serious endeavor of mine, and I started years ago writing long form fiction, and then I transitioned into short stories, and now I think I've found a medium that works for me in poetry.
Oh, that's great. Is there, and this is to a novice, is there something that poetry gives you that you can't get from a short story? You personally, Buffy?
I don't know if I would say it like that so much as it's just a different discipline. I'm really, I love the conciseness. I love the surprise that poetry can give you. But I love all forms. Right. I love the Henry James novel, and I like the Alice Munro short story. So I'm all over the place in what I admire.
Your work is wonderful. Alan, I'm going to get to you in 1 second. I just want to ask, I know, Kevin, you and Smokey are both songwriters. Obviously, there's a direct connection between songwriting and poetry. Which came first, or did they sort of come simultaneously?
Well, most of the stuff I'm doing are songs, actually, that I find very. I'm going to bring some stuff in that are not songs, but I believe that my songs stand as poetry. I like to have the belief that I do in that. So it's kind of interesting taking it from singing it or playing guitar with it. Like that song, The Lunatic, is at 3/4. There goes the lunatic. Right. But so it's so doing it with words, is challenging, and also because I'm an actor, I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel I'm critiquing myself when I see these tapes, and maybe I should just be like the English and just recite, make sure I hit all the points and the diction is clear, rather than be emoting and scratching and crying and belting and bellowing and.
Very powerful pieces today.
Thanks. I enjoy the process. I feel it's something I'm it's just fun to do. It's something I've never done before, really.
Yeah.
Being a
Great.
poet, you know, so.
Really moving.
I mean, I find that as a general rule, but not totally. If it's got a chorus that you can sing it, then you make it a song.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, then it sounds like a poem. Or if it doesn't have the sensibility of something I'd want to sing or somebody'd want to sing.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Let me just jump to Ellen really quick, and then we're going to go to Elaine. So Ellen, go ahead. You're on.
Hey, thank you so much. I just wanted to echo what Shirley said. It's such a diversity of voice and theme and presentation, and it's so thrilling. I mean, I know Kevin some, and I'm good friends with Michael Cavanaugh, and Buffy Shutt is of my heart and one of the most glorious women I know. And I have to say, to watch these people over several weeks, and that goes for everyone, develop and grow and present more and more of their work and become more and more what feels like confident, is a real joy. And I really thank you, Todd, for going out of your way to include this because it is a kind of theater. You know, it's spoken word. It's the beatniks understood that, right? The whole beat generation, and I think the young kids and rap grew out of that as well. And I think it's really a joy to see this as part of theater and performance. And it works really well for Zoom, because I personally am a little over Zoom plays, but we got a little more time to still do this because we're not ready to go back into the rooms yet. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. And I wanted to just thank you all and send my deep regards to everyone.
Oh, thank you, Alan. We love having you here, and it's great. And yes, I know people are over Zoom plays, but don't be too over them yet. All right. Elaine, you were going to say something?
Oh, yes. I wanted to say the process for me often feels as if the poem comes through me. It's as if it comes from somewhere else. And when earlier, I think it was Buffy was saying the poem is knocking on the window, or it's trying to get in, or she's trying to avoid it. It's something like that for me. And a funny thing is that sometimes I will feel like I have the perfect rhythm, and this word that's the one I want to use, but the poem won't accept it. It's really annoying.
Wow.
But that's just what I wanted to say.
Great, thank you.
You could save it for another one.
Sometimes that happens, yes.
Michael, yes.
It's interesting for me because I've never written poetry. And when you first started talking about this, the first piece I did was, in fact, a song that I had written as a poem many years ago. But the last one we did, the Valentine's Day one, and this one, when the subject came up, I had no idea. And I had just kind of written it off. And then both times, I told you about this one, Todd, in the middle of the night, this is literally true. In the middle of the night, I woke up and started writing. And I had to get out of bed, literally into my office and start writing for about 2 hours. The next night, the exact same thing happened. I woke up, it's like the muse is giving me a shake. Otherwise, I never knew anything about poetry. I've been, doing this acting business for a long time, and I love doing other people's words. But when these inspirations about poems come, it's really fun to be able to come up with something that is mildly meaningful and enjoyable. And hopefully the folks are enjoying it as well as they are enjoying everyone's stuff. So it's been a unique experience for me.
Yeah, your pieces are terrific. So to me, it's like you've been doing it forever. So,
thank you.
And Gerald James asks 2 questions. He says, is the mouse poem autobiographical? And if it is, how dangerous was it to tell?
Yeah, I think it was autobiographical. Different phases of life. But I admit I did write it quite a while ago. I just thought that would fit the April Fools,
That was perfect. It was great. It was great. It was such a wonderful evening, and everybody. Shirley, did you have something to say?
I wanted to add on something Buffy said. For me, poetry is getting the point out in as few words as possible. I find a beginning, a middle, and an end, usually a punchline. I have done stand-up comedy, and I try to incorporate some of that into what I do. So yeah.
Got it. Well, it's all beautiful. So if I'm going to leave it up to you. Yes, Rick.
I was just going to add that Shirley's right. The comics love Charles Bukowski, who was a great, working man's drinking, smoking, drugging poet. And a lot of his poetry really translate. They look like a lot of them could be stand-up bits. So she's right.
Mm-hmm. Devon.
I just wanted to jump in here and say, just something Smokey was just saying is that different phases of I've written poems for really my whole life, and but different phases, sometimes it's code, like there was a phase when it was code, like it was a way of telling my secrets, was writing poems. And then I found a few years ago when all these dreadful things were happening, like 9/11, like Newtown, the massacre of children. I like Michael, I'd be awakened in the night and like, I have to write about this. This is the only way I can grapple with something so large and dreadful. But I also want to say, hey, Rick, that I was very embarrassed because I was laughing so hard during your story of your.
It was great.
So hard, I thought I'm going to have to leave my Zoom box.
Oh God, that's the best compliment you could pay a comic. Thank you, Devon.
I was like,
I actually jotted down "Mom and Pa Kettle bleeding to death."
That's funny.
That's what a comic lives for. I mean, that's like money, making you laugh. That's where it's at.
But I just want to say, Todd, I'm so grateful to you for, I don't know where this kooky idea came from, this foolish idea, but it
was wonderful.
So wonderful to get to know these other poets, and I really am so jealous of Kevin and that lighting thing he had going. Like,
yes, it's been so great, and I just want to share that it's not going away. I recognize that some people are burned out of Zoom, and we do have a little bit of our format is going to change slightly. We're not going to do as many productions a month. We'll probably just do 2 a month. And I think we're going to do poetry every time the seasons change. So look at this one as spring, and then our next poetry will be right around June for summer. So it's not going to go away. We're just not going to do as many.
So I can get a good night's sleep then.
Exactly. No, so you can get a lot of paper and pens. We're expecting a lot from you, Michael.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Stu Berg, that hand just popped up. So I'm glad to see you in the house.
Well, I'm glad to be in the house. First of all, I thoroughly enjoyed you guys. I found that I've always liked poetry, and of course I kind of grew up on the Charge of the Light Brigade and the face on the barroom floor and all these things, which basically were stories that were told in rhyme and rhythm. And what I like now is that I find, as someone who's listening to poetry, that I'm challenged. I hear the poem and I want to know what that really means to the person who wrote that poem. So it's one of it's a more interesting way to have your audience or your reader or whatever term you want to use to involve themselves in the work that you do. And some of them are funny and some of them are sad and some of them seem to be easy to understand. But everything that was done had a certain meaning, and there was something of each of you in it that were keeping me on my toes to what exactly it is that you're saying. So in that respect, I want to tell you how much I thoroughly enjoyed everybody's work. So thank you for a lovely, lovely afternoon.
Thank you, Stu.
Thank you, Stu. Good. Can't wait to see you again in the theater.
I'll be there.
Good deal. Good deal. Gina Costa, our own Gina Costa.
Hey, you guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my gosh. This is, are we 3 for 3? Is this our third poetry?
This is it. 3 for 3.
I'm 3 for 3. And it's just, once again, just a wonderful cavalcade of words and imagery. And watching a poet recite their own poetry is really kind of great, because you get to see all that in between stuff with their faces, their lips, their eyes, as they're experiencing their own poem. It's really quite great, because obviously most of the time with smartphone, the writer is left to the side and the actors are up front. So to watch you guys work your own words, you're really working your own words. It's really beautiful. And I have to say, no one can write a poem about a goldfish like Elaine Madsen. Elaine and I shared a very special relationship with a goldfish a couple of seasons back before the world shut down. There's a lot of hidden craziness in that woman, and it's arresting. It's arresting, and I will say, Kevin Kelly, one night after he had, I wrote a short play for the PD unit called The Lucky Mouse. And Kevin caught me in the parking lot after, and he goes, "Hey, I got a poem. It was called Mice on Ice. I had to freeze some mice because it was so fucking cold in New York one winter." And I was like, oh my God, so somewhere in Kevin's, brain pan, there is a poem about mice on ice. Speaking of mice, but thank you so much. And Michael Cavanaugh, I love when you say you've got to wake up, because that muse just keeps tapping at you, and they will not let you rest. They won't. So thank you guys so much again. Can't wait for the summer edition. Woohoo!
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Gina.
So great to hear from you. Gerald James.
Yeah, I got a question for Kevin.
Sure.
Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah.
Kevin, with the current times with Japanese abuse and stuff like that, what was that like to do that poem, and how current is that poem?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually did it in the rehearsal that we had yesterday, because I wanted to not be, I wanted to not, because I know we're in a sensitive time with the Asian Americans, but it was really about me and me being drunk with the sense of everything that was off kilter, So I don't know, it's kind of it was me coming out of a drunk when I used to drink in Greenwich Village in a bar with Jack Kerouac and Ginsberg and all the poets were there. And when I came to, it was like the whole bar was full of Japanese people. So that's where I went home and I wrote the song Drunk. There's more. And so that's where that came from. But when I did the poem, I thought to myself that the spirit of the poem and the heart of the poem is not offensive. I also talk about the Jewish comic and the Korean guy who's, in New York, there's a little bit more, there's a Korean guy and a Japanese guy and a Jewish guy over there. And so that was the spirit of the poem. But I don't know. I felt, I don't know. I think that sometimes our political correctness can
stifle.
I don't know. I don't know what we can do, but we could all be neutral and just walk around and just become like, I don't know. But I hope I didn't offend anybody. I hope the spirit of the poem, if it was received, was more about me, not about.
Yeah, that became evident as it was going on.
Oh, good. Well, good. Then I did my part.
But it really was a shocker to pull in.
Well, good. Then that's good too.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess.
Taking off my clothes next time. That'll shock you.
What was
Taking
it?
off my clothes. I wouldn't do anything for a joke.
What was the bar? Was it the White Horse?
The bar?
Yeah, the White Horse.
No, but I know that bar. I know the White Horse.
Yeah.
I haven't saw it. I used the White Horse, but yeah, no, it was a bar in Greenwich Village. I forget the name of the bar. It's right on St. Mark's Place. I forget the name of the bar, but it wasn't long. It was at the end of my drinking career. Was begun to end, So I was, I was like, and I think I was having delirium tremens or something when I wrote it. So
Quite a
plus the
time.
performance, that I've.
That's amazing.
But anyway,
Yeah, that's amazing.
thanks.
Guys, unless anybody else wants to chime in, I'm going to call it a night. And if anybody has anything else to say, just stop me. And I did mention that that we're going to try to do that. We will do this every time the seasons change. Now, the Smartphone Theater, we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. So we began on March 27th. We did our anniversary. Yeah, yay to us. So we did our anniversary on March 26th, which was wonderful. Gina Acosta did a beautiful, beautiful production called the Huntsville Gun Show, and it was amazing. And then starting next week, we have a whole new season coming up. We're only going to do a couple a month instead of one every week. So there's going to be a few other changes as well that you'll see. So check the website. Again, we still want your support. We live by your support, so please donate whenever possible. And we need you. And so far, you guys have been great because that's why we're still on a year later. And who knows what else we may have. Somebody brought up spoken word. I'd like to do a spoken word night, which is going to change it up a little bit. And who knows? I mean, there's going to be a lot of things. This platform is also going to be very evident to try new things. So as the theaters open up, if playwrights or anyone else for that matter wants to try out new work before it actually goes onto a stage, this platform is going to exist for that. So I'm keeping the doors open. People email me. I still get plays all the time. People email me if you have any questions or if you think you have some work that might be great for this, just to try out, just so you could hear it out loud. We also may have a really cool surprise for you next month. So again, check the website for that. So everybody here on all of our poets, first of all, tonight was brilliant. Thank you guys so much. Secondly, I am going to send you a quick link. So check your email and we're going to have just a nice congratulations, Mazel Tov, happy Good Friday and happy Easter, everybody. Just toast. So check your email about 2 minutes after we all say goodbye. And again, does anybody have any parting words before we go?
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
You're the greatest.
Thank you too much.
Love you, Todd.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
All right. Excellent. Bye, everybody out there. And to the poets, I'll see you in about 2 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Okay.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Merci beaucoup.